No, but it's when it is in the written form, you have all of this. So the first question to ask yourself is, what is a punctuation? Punctuation mark refers to symbols used in writing to organize our sentences. And why is that needed? For what? Clarifying or for clarity. So if I'm organizing the sentences, it helps my reader to be able to understand better what I'm communicating or the message I want to pass across to the reader. And of course, without communication, the message, the essence of writing is lost because you won't understand the flow of the writer. You won't understand the connection he or she is trying to establish. So when punctuation is not in written form of communication, that entire piece is what is completely lost. Now, we have two examples, two words that are just arranged together. Nothing, no punctuation mark. That is A and B. During the summer camp events, we visited new places I never knew existed. Like, are you running a tap or something? It's just going without stop. Nothing is being passed across as a key message to the reader. Same thing goes for number two. We won't be able to have a proper interpretation of what has been written down. But now let's see the better understanding to it in the next slide, because that's the essence of what punctuation is all about. So we have the A part. During the summer camp, we visited new places I never knew existed. Now, with what you have here, you could tell that there is what? A connect. I can connect better. I can understand better with what I am reading. I now know where to have a pause, where to continue my sentence, and what the entire sentence reads out or communicates fully. Now, same thing goes to number two. Here, there is a difference. What's the difference? I noticed that there is an extra speech added to it, not just a normal conversation, meaning someone actually made a statement and I'm writing it out. I know it's that person, Kate. Kate was the one talking directly to Chloe, and she made a statement. So with the use of that punctuation, we'll be able to separate the exact statement Kate is making and the full sentence in all. So there is a better understanding of what is being communicated through writing. So we're going to dive into some examples of punctuation marks, and we'll also test our ability on that. Are you getting it? So the common one that everybody is most common or familiar with is what? The full stop. Another name for it is the period. So what do you use it for? You use it basically for two. At the end of a declarative sentence, after for an abbreviations. So when you have abbreviations or acronyms, you use your full stop there. So take, for example, the word USA, United States of America. What did it do? We abbreviated them, but there's a separation of the letters. And what do we use? We use the full stop or the period to separate it. Another example, just a common statement you can make. Remember, not a question, a statement. That's why we call them declarative statements, where you make known facts to people. She's a girl. Reina is a pretty girl. Reina is having her classes currently. Those are statements you are making. That's why we call them declarative sentences. So of course you're going to use your full stop. Nothing changes. And it marks that, oh, this is the end of this sentence. And that's it. So you can see that from the previous example we gave, that's the A and B above. Now let's go to number two. We have comma. So from the highlighted points here, when are we expected to use a comma in writing? Let me hear you read them out.
Hmm?
Read out when you expected to use a comma in your writings.
Wait, you said read out what when you expect to use a comma in your writing?
Yes, please.
To separate a sentence.
To separate a sentence, okay. Read out what you have on your screen.
The examples.
A comma, please.
Huh?
For number 2,
Like
punctuation mark.
to separate the item.
I can't hear you.
To separate that, like I read the to separate the
Yeah,
item.
okay, that's 1.
After introducing words.
That's 2.
Before before conjugations in compound sentences.
Before what?
Conjunctions.
Okay, that's 3. And the last one.
The set of names or extra information.
Thank you. So we have, for all of these you've mentioned, now this is a practical example of how to actually use them in writing. So we talked about separating a list. I didn't write that, and that was intentional. Why? When you're making a list of things, oh, I went to the shop or shopping mall and I got ice cream, vanilla cake, and all of that. So when you're listing out the items you got from the shopping mall, you use a comma to separate it, right? So now
Mm-hmm.
let's go to the other ones. Now we're told that after an introductory word, so it can be in any form, it can be an adverb, it can be the affirmative word, that is yes, or it can be the negative one, no. No, I will come tomorrow. Yes, I am willing to do it. Those are your introductory words. So you use a comma to separate that introductory word from the other part of the sentence. Now for number 2, that brings us to the structure we did the last time, compound sentence. And remember when we combined 2 independent clauses together, what did we do? A comma must separate the first independent clause from the second. So it means at the end of your first independent clause, you use a comma, then your conjunction follows with the last independent clause. So that comes up. Then the last one, when you are writing up, say for example, I called out my sister. That's the subject. But not just calling out my sister, I'm trying to call out the name alongside. So the extra information I'm adding so you know that, okay, this sister of mine, this is her name. This monitor of the class, this is his name. Or this name goes with the monitor of the class. Sorry about that. Uh-huh. So you can say, oh, Marina, the class captain. Javis, the little boy, the new boy, is very good at this or at that. So those times you write or you say them orally, when you write them, this is how it should look like. Remember, like I said, you don't need it when you are talking, but it's a very key aspect of writing when you're being judged, when your work is being analyzed. So it means it must be on point. So that's the first one, comma, and the full stop. Now let's talk about another aspect of it. But before we do that, we'll also do some work in our test. So we're going back to the test book. So let's quickly run through to that. I want you to do something quickly for me. Yes, you're going to do question 1 to 3. So do that now. Open to page 289. So let's practice what we've said so far. So it won't be just talking, talking, talking. Let's see it in our book and see how it actually work out. Question 1 to 3. The first 3 questions. Quickly.
I'm there.
Okay, the first 3 questions, 1 to 3. That's what you're doing, quickly. So you're sending in the answer to the chat.
I'm
Quickly.
sorry. You said
1
1 to
minute's
3?
gone. Yes, 1 to 3.
Okay.
1 minute's gone. I left you 2 minutes. Okay, so one minute left. Thirty seconds left. Thank you very much. Okay, that's a smart one, but the only one you did not do correctly is nothing. A good job on that.
Mm-hmm.
But your number one is wrong. Yes.
Mm.
Number one is meant to be, there's a mistake. So in all the listed sentences, that's A, B, C, there's a mistake. And the mistake there is for B. The word there is abbreviated. The full spelling is senior, SENIOR. So it was abbreviated to what? SR. So remember I said when you finish, the moment you abbreviate a word, you didn't spell it in full. You use your full stop or period to indicate that, hey, this word has been abbreviated. This is not the full spelling of that. So there's a mistake for number one, and that is option B. So good job on that. Thank you. Now let's run through to the last two we have left. Now we have double inverted comma, also known as speech mark. What do you use it for? You could remember vividly in the exercise we did, or rather the sentence example I changed by including speech punctuation mark. You notice that there was a particular sentence as the B part, Chloe. I had the meal is indeed delicious. Now, this is the work of inverted comma, also known as speech mark or quotation mark. What do? You use it to quote the speaker's exact words. Remember, it was a full sentence, and from what you have here, is a full sentence. The teacher said, practice makes perfect. But we're not putting it around the full sentence. No, it's going to be only wrapped around what the speaker in that sentence had said, not the full words used. So you use it to separate the exact words of a speaker. You also use it to introduce your sentences. Oh, so when you see this, you know that this is a speech work and it's called a direct speech. Why do we say it's direct? Because that's exactly the way the speaker had said it. There were no alterations, no changes made. And the last part is another thing you use your inverted comma for. You use it to indicate what? Just titles of your stories, your novels, your points, articles, movies, and what have you. So that's what you use your inverted commas. So when you see or when you're writing the name of a book, the title of a book, you don't just write them like that. People will know that this particular strings of words you've used is a title of a book. So the use of your inverted comma, the double inverted comma, will help you clearly indicate that without confusing your reader. Now let's go to the last one quickly. And the last one is the very common one that everybody must use. And that's what? Capital letter. Capital letter. What do you use capital letters for? Oh, at the beginning of a sentence, of course. So every sentence that we're told must always begin with a capital letter. Yes. What else do you use it for? The pronoun I is very tricky. People will say, oh, it's just a letter. No, it's a word of its own. That's why you won't say you want to make a sentence, you can use it as a word. It's a pronoun. So anytime it appears as a word, it must begin with a capital letter, regardless of the position it appears. It must begin with what? A capital letter. Now we have another proper noun. That's another pointer. No proper nouns must start with a small letter. That's a lowercase. Nowhere. It's actually a grammatical error. Is wrong grammatically. So every proper noun, names of people, names of festivals, holidays, places, specific names, month of the year, all of that, they must always be written in capital letters. Now back to title of books. Yes, you're separating with your speech mark, but at the same time, you must tell us why you're doing that. So capital letter must be used to indicate the key names. When we say the key names, it means that you don't capitalize your articles, A and D, prepositions, you don't put them in capital letters. That's why I would say the key words in the title of a book. So those are the ones you use capital letters for. Then abbreviations. Some, like for example, some words, instead of saying them in full, you pick the initials of these words and you merge them together. That aspect must be written in capital letter. It tells anyone seeing it that these words are abbreviated. This is not a word on its own. Rather, the initials were used to make up these words. So that, and the last part is when you're introducing your speech, your direct speech. But this is very dicey. Why is it dicey? It all depends on where the position is. Say, for example, if I'm going to be starting with the indirect, with its direct speech at the beginning of the sentence, oh, I'm definitely going to use that. Then if I'm also going to start with words like proper nouns and special cases, I'll also use the capital letter. Are you getting it? Wonderful girl. Are you getting it? So tell me, what was my last statement?
My head just hurts.
Now do me a favor. Spell the word capitalization.
Hmm?
Capitalization. Mm-hmm.
Capitalization.
Yes,
C
please. I'm waiting.
CAPITALIZATION.
Thank you. So now you know why we are talking about capitalization here. So what do I use what do I use capitalization for when it comes to writing form? Let me remove this slide. Let's see if you can still remember. Capitalization, what do I use it for? So when I'm writing, why do I need it? I'm waiting. At least give
Are
me
you asking?
three.
You're asking me
Yes, please. Give me
what you use
three.
capitalization for?
Uh-huh, yeah.
Names, places, and
Can't hear you.
names.
Okay,
The beginning of a sentence,
okay.
and nouns. Uh,
Nouns. Mm-mm.
Wait, and the names of places.
Louder, please. I didn't get that.
Places.
Places. Hmm. That is tricky. I can say school is the name of a place. So what makes it different?
Like the name of the school.
The name of the school. Thank you. So we'll just say proper nouns. So it means specific names. Good job. So now we're going to run through with the last aspect of our activity. We did 1 to 3 the last time, so we're going to do 4 to 12. So now you're going to be faster because you're doing A and B. You're doing A and B. The B part is, this is a paragraph messed up. So we want to know, how is it going to be correct? Punctuate it. I don't know what I'm saying here. It's making no sense to me. So you have to punctuate it so it makes sense to me trying to read it out. So this is what you're going to do. Don't copy the full sentence. Only where you feel the error has been identified. So that aspect is where you just put it out. Are you getting it?
Wait, say that again?
I'll repeat again. The A part, we are left with 9 questions. So you're doing question 4 to 12. That's A. B, you could see carefully what you have. Where you're supposed to put your punctuation, just identify it and put it there. So you're not rewriting the paragraph. So it will save time. Are you getting it? So start now. 1 minute. I'm giving you 9 questions. I'm giving you 4 minutes for A.
Is this
Then
supposed to
for
be in the
B,
book?
you're putting it in the chat. That's the only way I can mark the chat. So A, you're giving me, you're using 4 minutes. B, you're using 6 minutes. So in total, that's 10 minutes. Let's start.
So I do the workbook list and then I do the paragraph that you put up.
The paragraph is not in the book.
Yeah, so like first I do like for a question, I mean for A, I do what's in the book, and then for B, I
That's no
do.
problem. You want to save time? I like that. You're acting smart. So the one that works faster for you, I'm cool with that. So long as I get my answers on the chat display. Thank you.
Can I skip number 4?
Okay. That means you're done with the B part, the paragraph part.
Huh?
Are you done with the paragraph part?
Am I doing the paragraph one first?
I thought you said that was what you wanted to do, but not to worry. Continue.
Look.
I've not seen any answer yet.
Wait, I'm sorry. I'm just.
Auntie Miracle, can I come in here a bit? Is it possible for Ure to type the sentences line by line? I know it's not going to be easy for her to type everything into the chat, but let her read and then show the punctuations. Let me give her an example so it's easy for her. Yesterday, I visited my grandmother's house. Let me just give her a little what you expect from her. Sorry. Yeah.
Purple.
Sorry. I just want to give her the first example in the chat so she can do it quickly because you're also timing her.
Hmm?
Ray, are you there?
She's there.
Okay. So you can also mark. So I've done the first one. The first one, I've just sent it in. Teacher, cross check if I got it right. I think I made a mistake. So I want you to correct it. Yes. What was my error?
After yesterday, there's meant to be a comma there.
Thank you. Very good. after yesterday, there's meant to be a comma. I did that intentionally so she can understand what you're looking out for. So the correct thing based on your example now is, let me do the right thing. Yes, thank you, teacher. Thank you. You got it right. So Ure, read the sentence, look at the sentence and write out each sentence typed. So she's able to spot where you have errors, okay? Miss Auntie Miracle, is that okay? Does that make it easier?
Okay, that's fine. That's
Okay,
also
thank you.
fine too.
It also helps her speed. Do you understand what we are working on? She has
Yes,
to look at it and process that things quickly for her test. Thank you.
you're welcome. Ma'am. So we have only two. You can speed up. You're trying, but I know you can do better. You've used more than 8 minutes, so you have to be very fast. Two extra minutes to go. So put in the 2 minutes left to go. So put in the best speech you can and accurately answer your questions. One minute left, 1 minute left. Keep pushing, keep pushing. Don't relent.
Can um can two sentences be wrong in the same one?
No, so you have to look carefully. It's just one. Either there's one error or there is none. So it has to be just one. So look carefully. 30 seconds left. Thirty seconds left. Give it
But
a try.
in
I think it's that.
uh number for number 8, confused. I'm
Okay,
confused on number 8.
number 8. Okay, so our time is up. Now I'm going to answer the question. It's unfortunate that you could not finish the 9 questions we have for A, and you did not attempt B. Okay, that's not a problem, but unfailingly, I don't like the fact that we are carrying over work. Unfailingly, we're going to work on it first
Well,
thing in our class. Your time is up for your activities, so stop. It's unfortunate that you cannot complete your tasks, but unfailingly, first thing in our next class, we are hitting it. And please, 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 I know you can do it. So we're going to push harder. Now, going by what you said, number 8, if you check carefully, the statement I made, remember I called out the class prefect and I called out the name. I called out Reina and I called out your duty, my friend. Now, what you're supposed to do is, that's what we have in common. When you mention something at the introductory part, you separate it with your comma. So the introductory part can be words, it can be one word. Remember, we saw that when we were talking about the comma aspect. When you mention someone's name too, you use a comma to separate it. My friend, at that was the example we used. So for that number 8, because there's a name that should be called out and there's no separation of comma, that makes it a mistake. So number 8, the mistake there is found in C. Are you getting it?
yeah.
So that's the mistake there. Now, from what you've done so far, good job. But the only one you failed is your question 5. Number 5, number 4, number 4, there's an error there. They were reporting a question. I talked about when we were talking about use of quotation mark. Now, I made a statement. Chloe, the food is good. Chloe, would you come with me? That is a question. Of course, it will come with a questioner because I am the one saying it directly. And writing it, it shows direct speech. But the moment you're reporting it, you're uttering one or two things from it, it's no longer going to have a question mark. The girl asks if I would be coming for the party. It doesn't need a question mark. It's just a statement at that point in time. Why? Because it has been altered. So it's not coming anymore as a question. It's coming now as a statement. Are you getting it? So that's for number 4. Then number 5, a list. They made a list of adjectives. Now, take something. A list doesn't necessarily have to be only items you buy. It can be a list of adjectives, can be a list of adverbs. So long as a list of words, you separate with your comma. Are you getting it?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's why your number 5 and your number 4, they're all wrong. But good job. But please remember, like I said, on Wednesday, it's fire to fire. And I trust you'll give me that speed. Thank you for your time today. Do you have any questions before we call it a day? Do you have a question? Okay. But remember, like I said, our welcome notes will be this last activity that was not attempted, and the remaining question 9 to 12 of our punctuation practice. Okay, thank you very much. Bye from my end. And please, before I leave, please go back to all the things we've said so far and do a read up. Don't close your notes without checking through your work. It will do us no good. So practice, like I said, makes perfect. Thank you. Bye.
Have a good day.
Mo ti tan mic ní báyìí, but kò